So I'm a bit late with this video. Never too late anyway, because it's such an iconic record. So we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Culture Club's Karma Chameleon. This was released in September 1983. It's from their second album, Colour by Numbers. It was at number 1 for 6 weeks, and I believe it was the second number 1 after Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? And it sold 1.39 million, which is incredible. And that was, I don't know how much it's sold now, because it's still a record that people are still downloading, people are still buying, people are still using. It's such an iconic record. And it also spent 3 weeks at number 1 in the US Billboard Top 100 in early 1984, becoming the group's biggest hit and only US number 1 single among the many top 10 hits. That I'm not surprised. I'm going to go through some figures on number 1 in countries, and incredible. Like, especially trying to reach that nowadays. And bear in mind, back here it was all physical copies as well, singles and 12 inches. The harmonica was played by Judd Lander, who had been a member of the Merseybeat group, the Hideaways, in the 1960s. The song was originally called Chameleon. Doesn't have the same ring as Karma. The band was recording interviews in mid-1983 stating that this was to be the title of the next single. Karma Chameleon is written in the key of B major. Some useful information there. I do know, reading over the years, when George approached the band with this song, they just laughed at it and ridiculed it, but insisted for this to be the album. And thank God he did, because it's the biggest record that Culture Club have ever had, and it's still something everyone knows now. When they do the live gigs, they always have to end on this as well. But the video was the one that stand out for me. It's supposed to represent by the river somewhere in Mississippi, and someone's pickpocketing, but actually it's somewhere in England on a really dreary day. But I always loved that video, because they were at the height of their fame, and anything from Culture Club was just incredible. At the time this came out, I was actually living in Cyprus, so I didn't get to see a lot of this stuff. I didn't get to see the videos a lot. I used to get the magazines and the newspapers, but it's just such a great record, an iconic record, iconic sleeve. The sleeve was shot by David Levine. I think he was a brother of Steve Levine, who's a producer at the time for Culture Club. I'm really surprised, considering this is as big as it was, has had no reissues. I think a few years ago they did a 7-inch for Karma Chameleon. So I'm really surprised they haven't done anything for the 40th anniversary. It's such an iconic record. Hence why I'm doing the video. Also, if you go to the Culture Club website, you can actually buy the 40th anniversary Karma Chameleon t-shirt. Here we go, Karma Chameleon t-shirt. I think £25. But at least there's something up there with 40th anniversary for Karma Chameleon. At the time, I only thought it ever came out at 7-inch, but actually came out at 12-inch as well. And the 12-inch also had I'll Tumble For You, the US remix, which I absolutely loved, this record. It did come out in America on a 7-inch record. I think this is one of the biggest... this should have been the A-side of something in the UK. I think this would have done really well in the UK. But as it stands, it was on the 12-inch B-side of Karma Chameleon. And again, the logos are exactly the same for the Colour by Numbers. Such an iconic shot of George. I think he dressed like this in the video as well. Shot by David Levine. I remember in 1984, or whenever this came out, I had T-shirts with this on it as well, and I wore it to death. Hence, now I've got a new one with the same icon on it. There's nothing really different about this. It is literally just a Karma Chameleon 7-inch mix on a 12-inch piece of vinyl, which I'm quite surprised at, because they put a US remix of A Tumble For You. Why couldn't they have done something for Karma Chameleon? But anyway, that is the 40th anniversary of Culture Club's Karma Chameleon. And also in another video, there's going to be the 40th anniversary of Colour by Numbers, which I will probably do. But I have spoken about that album a few times now, my top 10 albums, all of that. But I just thought this record deserves its own little video. And that's the 40th anniversary of Karma Chameleon.